you can only see him losing it from here. He's going to get at least 6 darts from 161, and if Chris doesn't hit a treble, it could be 9 darts. Well, Hawley been thinking about, I only want to hit 1 treble. 1 treble to do me.
Yeah, just checking the score, 121 to go.
I reckon he'll go 25. The Americans do like going 25. No, he's gone. What a good last dart that was.
You could tell how pleased he was with the dart. He nearly sprinted up to the board to take his darts out. Well, here's the N9 for Chris Mason 44. In the 2008 US Open.
Requires 64.
Well, he needed a big score there because Dave might only get 1 dart at double. He's going to get 2 at double 8 now for the match. Just inside that, covered it up a little bit.
What a performance for David Fatum. The Canadian causes another huge upset at the US Open. Massive disappointment for Chris Mason. He's beaten by 3 sets to 1, and David Fatum will now play Colin Lloyd in the semi-finals. What a story.
Yeah, Chris Mason is going to be very disappointed. He just didn't play like he can do leg on leg, and of course I think you have to put that loss down to them darts in that first leg. You know, if he'd have hit that double with the first leg, we may have seen a different Chris Mason, a bubbly Chris Mason, and he didn't, and he was on the back foot from there on in, Stu.
Well, what a performance from David Fatum. What does that performance, though, tell you about Chris Mason?
Well, he's got a bit of work to do. You know, he didn't beat himself up like he normally does, but he just couldn't get that rhythm going. You know, I don't know whether it's the first game of the day, a little bit of nerves, you know, which does happen. He's just got to, the first dart was not going right all the time. You know, it was in some legs, but not enough times when he put his foot to that hockey was he getting that first dart in a good position.
Well, Chris Mason is out. David Fatum is through to play Colin Lloyd in the semi-finals of the US Open. And still to come, we have Phil Taylor against the local favourite Ray Carver, and Mark Durbridge against Dennis Priestley in the bottom half of the draw. But Fatum is through, and I'll tell you what, the tournament as a whole has been a real triumph for the North American dart stars.
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, this is the first time we've seen Dave Fatum. You know, he's had a great performance. Ray Carver played extremely well to beat Wayne Mardle yesterday. He's really got to pull it out to beat Phil Taylor, I have to say. But that first set, I keep emphasising on the first set, if you're going to beat someone like Taylor and Lloyd in the form they're in, you've got to get that first set under your belt.
Well, our next match is going to be the defending champion. It's Phil Taylor against Ray Carver. Can the Power defend his crown and win the US Open for a second consecutive year? Let's find out how he's feeling. He's been talking to Becky Rule.
Hi Phil, great performance yesterday against Colin Osborne. You hit the highest average of the day. I bet you were delighted.
I'm delighted. Not so much the average. Averages really don't matter. It's the win. Plus it sets you up for today now. The main objective was just to get through today. But one thing about Colin, I like about Colin, he's got a lot of bottle. You know what I mean? He doesn't give in. He keeps going right to the end, whereas a lot of players would have given in, and he didn't. So fair play to Colin.
Ray Carver knocked out Wayne yesterday. What are you expecting from him today?
Do you know, I don't know. He's on his own ground. He'll have a lot of support. Maybe that'll inspire him, or maybe he'll try a bit too hard. You just don't know how he's going to play. So he's going to play well, and I'm going to play well. So let's get it on now, do you know what I mean? And then just take the notice, because they're all good players. So you can't, as I said before, you can't pick one above another. You've got to treat them all the same.
You love it here at the Mohegan Sun. You've never been beaten.
I've never been out the door yet. I'm always here, yeah. It's lovely. I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'm going to take a walk around the lake and have a little look around local places, like, you know. So, yeah, it's a great venue, lovely. It's a lot like Vegas, really. You know, it's a big casino, and it's in the grounds it's in. Its setting is fantastic. Yeah, it's lovely, very relaxing. The staff are lovely people here. I'd recommend it to anybody, to be honest.
Hopefully we'll see you 3 times today. Have you prepared differently for it?
No, not really. Same thing. Down here 2 or 3 hours beforehand, do me practicing, get yourself ready for your match, and then just concentrate on the first one. Don't worry about the next one, or thinking about the final. Just concentrate on one game at a time. That's all you do.
Brilliant.
Easy.
Okay, well, best of luck, Phil. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Becky. If you're just joining us, quarter-finals here at the US Open, and we've just seen David Fatum with a major upset, beating Chris Mason by 3-1. The big favourite, though, does remain that man, Phil Taylor, and he was in irresistible form in his victory in the last 16 over Colin Osborne. Yeah, Phil Taylor victorious against Colin Osborne. As I say, we've just seen a shot with David Fatum beating Chris Mason. I'll tell you what, if Ray Carver beats Phil Taylor, that won't be a shock. That'll measure 8.8 on the Richter scale. Anyway, Carver against Taylor and Priestley against Durbridge still to come. But the big story so far on day 3 of the US Open surrounds David Fatum, victorious over Chris Mason. And here he is, talking to Becky.
Thanks, Rod and Stuart. David, well done. Fantastic win. How's it feel to be in the semi-finals?
Feels absolutely brilliant, I gotta admit. Brilliant. It was worth taking the day off of work.
You had a great start. How important was that to settle your nerves?
You know, I think my start was more of Chris missing it and giving me the opportunity to be successful today. And, you know, it's unfortunate for Chris, and I feel there was a cell phone went off when he was shooting his double, but, you know.
You've got Colin Lloyd in the semi-finals. How have you rated his performance?
Is there something beyond brilliant? Because this last match he just played, he was amazing, simply amazing. I mean, I aspire to play darts like that. Hopefully I have an opportunity, and I'll take that at full advantage when it's there.
You're up to the £5,000 prize money. Was it worth taking the day off work?
You know, the money stopped at the 64s because it all came about being on TV. And then once you get on TV, it's about staying on TV, isn't it?
Well, congratulations, David. Back over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Becky. A big smile on the face of David Fatum through to the semi-finals where he plays Colin Lloyd. It was a great performance from the man from Canada. Certainly not for Chris Mason, who has a lot of thinking to do. Mason missing 8 darts to win the first leg of the match, and it went downhill from then on in for Chris Mason. Just to remind you, still to come, it's Dennis Priestley against Mark Durbridge and the favourite and defending champion Phil Taylor and Ray Carver. That's all still to come live from the Mohegan Sun.